Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today I have another big fragrance haul from Fragrance Spy. I got 5 Lattafas and I got an Haramain. I'm gonna unbox these suckers. I'm gonna give you my first impressions, let you know what I think. So let's just jump right in. All right, so kicking things off, we're gonna take a look at the House of Maison Alhambra, which is from Lattafa. It's a Lattafa brand, subcategory, house, whatever you wanna call it. Lattafa's behind Maison Alhambra, and we are looking at amber leather because of the Tom Ford, but it is actually amber and leather. It's funny how I mixed those two up. Apparently this is a clone of Tom Ford's ombre leather, but nothing too fancy about this box. I'm not gonna dwell on that. It's a typical looking box with straight edges, a bunch of ingredients on the back, kind of a nice logo, but let's just bust right into this. All right, so there we have it. Maison Alhambra from Lattafa's Amber and Leather. This is actually a super heavy bottle. Like, this is incredibly heavy. It almost fell out of my hand when I picked it up. So big, huge, girthy bottle. Oh, look at that tiny little atomizer. That's adorable, sitting on top of this big bottle. Basic presentation, it does look like Tom Ford's ombre leather bottle. So I don't think Lattafa is really trying to hide what they're doing here. Cap on here does feel a little bit cheap. It is a little bit plasticky feeling, but this is an eau de parfum concentration, and I picked this up for about $15 off Fragrance Spy. So I'm not expecting world-class plastic, metal, whatever with the presentation, but like for the weight of this, that's pretty incredible. So presentation, bottle, not too bad. So let's get this on some paper and give this a whiff, shall we? Atomizer's okay on this. Give that a second. Ooh, get some up in the air as well. Actually, atomizer's pretty good. Oh yeah, that's definitely a leather. A little bit of spice to it. Like kind of a fresh spice, like a cardamom kind of sitting up there. This is quite nice. This is actually really nice. I'm not sure if this smells exactly like Tom Ford's ombre leather. I do have a little rinky-dink sample of ombre leather, so let's get a little bit of this in the air. See if the openings are similar. Yeah, obviously ombre leather from Tom Ford's a lot smoother. It's a lot more refined. The difference in price point is this is like 10 times cheaper than Tom Ford, obviously. So, but this is still quite nice. This doesn't have like screechy edges to it. It's not obnoxious. It's a really nice sort of leather. It's kind of like a brand new car, like the interior of a leather car, mixed with like a little bit of spice and maybe a tiny bit of that amber coming through. The amber might come through in the dry down a little bit more. There is like a hint of sweetness there, but right off the top, it is kind of a really nice, smooth, rich leather. It's not that powerful. It's not all that strong. Like, it's not like the Tom Ford seems obviously like it would perform a lot better. But yeah, if you're looking for a nice, soft, rich sort of leather scent, the opening on this has been quite good. A little bit of spice with that, maybe a cardamom or something. Tiny bit of sweetness coming through as it kind of settles down, but a very nice, rich, smooth style leather that comes through with this. Like I said, this isn't like the Tom Ford. It does have more of a cheaper, synthetic-y style smell to it. Tom Ford obviously is a lot smoother, refined, and it does feel like it's gonna push a little bit harder, the Tom Ford, and the performance will be a little bit better. But overall, for $15 from places like Fragrance Spy, I think this is probably a good pickup. I'm gonna give this a full wearing at some point, see how it does. Fall and winter fragrance for sure is where this would fit. And yeah, that's Maison Alhambra's Amber and Leather. All right, so next up we have another Lattafa, and this one is called Majd Al Sultan Asdaaf. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I didn't, below, just roast me in the comments. I'm sorry if I mispronounced some of these names. This is an eau de parfum concentration, and I picked this up for about $25 on Fragrance Spy. So I figured it's worth the gamble. Lattafa, you've always done me well, so we're gonna give that a shot. Box, nothing special. Again, it's just, I mean, it looks nice. It looks nice, but it's nothing too fancy to it. Basic presentation, cardboard box. So let's just get this opened up and give it a whiff. Actually, I lied. The box is kind of nice. It's got like a fuzzy side to it. It's fuzzy. Not your typical cardboard box. I lied in the beginning. I didn't feel the fuzziness on the side. All right, so there you have, that is Lattafa's Majd El Sultan Asdaaf. This is actually a really nice bottle. It does, like the box, it has this like, I don't even know what you would call this. It's just kind of like a fuzzy velvet. It's not actual velvet, I don't think, but it's like a fuzzy velvet kind of feel to it. It's kind of nice, it's very like soft. But it's kind of a cool presentation. It's got this like metal plaque on the front, so like a gold metal plaque. It's kind of engraved and embossed. Really kind of elegant, very like royal looking. Cap on this, it is a plastic. This is not a metal cap, but it's a thick plastic. So again, this doesn't feel too cheap. It does feel a little cheap, but not too bad. This is actually a very nice presentation, really well done, especially for like 25 bucks or whatever you paid for it. But the real test is, how does this smell? It takes a second, there we go. Ooh. Some of the air. Ooh, that's quite nice. That's got like a real spice right off the top. A little peppery smoke. It's got just a little bit of sweetness to it, but it's very like resinous. Yeah, there's like a little bit of sweetness to this, but there's like a lot of kind of smoke feel to it, like an incense, like a burnt wood, like a dark smoky wood, spicy sweet combo. This is quite nice. This reminds me of another Lattafa actually. Definitely get the spice right off the top. It's a very like, it's spicy but sweet with kind of like the smoke that comes through with some of the incense. I get a little bit of tobacco or like that earthiness. That maybe it's part of that smoke, but there's some earthiness in this with that smoke. This is like a perfect fall fragrance to me. This has a very like in the woods, leaves on the ground, kind of like cool evening, you know, walk in the park. It does smell like something else. I gotta check, I gotta see. You know, there is some similarity to this in the Amber Oud. There's some overlaps with the Amber Oud. This is like a little bit smokier and spicier. It doesn't quite have that, the same kind of feel as Amber Oud, but it does at the same point. Like they could be cousins in a sense. So this one is has a little bit more smoke to it, a little bit more spice to it. This is really, really nice. I like this quite a bit. Like I said, I think this is going to be a perfect fall cool weather style fragrance. I don't know how the projection longevity will be on this, but I have a feeling this will do okay. I think that smoke and some of that kind of resinous feel to it would probably hold and perform pretty decent. So I'm gonna have to give this a full wear, and I'll probably do a full review on this one once we get to some cooler weather and let you guys know how it performs and all that kind of jazz. But this is really good. This was a good pickup for $25 at Fragrance Buy. I'm quite happy with this one, and the presentation, it's got the fuzzy bottle. It's quite nice. So that's Lattafa's Majd El Sultan Asdaaf. All right, so now we're gonna move into the Haramain, and I picked this one up. I've had this on my to buy list for longer than I care to admit, and I just never pulled the trigger, but I found a pretty good deal for a tester off Fragrance Buy. This cost me $45 for this, and that's Haramain's Amber Oud Tobacco Edition. Now this is the tester box. I'm not even sure why I did the whole hold it up to the camera presentation thing, because it's a tester box. But let's just cross our fingers here. I haven't even opened this up yet. Let's just cross our fingers as a tester that actually has a cap on it, because you never know when you get a tester sometimes if it's gonna have the cap or not. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this together. Oh hell yeah, we got a cap. We have a cap. All right, so there you have it. That is Haramain's Amber Oud Tobacco Edition. So again, this is a 60 ml, this is an eau de parfum, and this cost about $45 on Fragrance Buy. So let's take this and give it a whiff, shall we? Presentation is really nice on this. I like this kind of like metal plaque right on the front. Nice solid metal, the design on this, you got the juice, it's clear in the back. Cap on this is an actual metal cap. It has the Haramain kind of engraving on the top. Really nice presentation, quite enjoy this bottle. It's got like some nice heaviness to it, so decent atomizer on this. It's pretty good. Ooh. Oh, right off the top you get the spices. There's like a clove in there, and that's like a cinnamon or a nutmeg. Very spicy at the very beginning. Okay, and like the vanilla starts to come through fairly quick. Ooh, this is nice. Yeah, you definitely get, there's like a chocolate vibe to this. I don't even know if there's like a chocolate note in this, or it's like a chocolatey pipe tobacco with like a little bit of vanilla and those spices, like a cinnamon and nutmeg, and like definitely I think a clove in there. Now this has been compared to Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. I've smelled Tobacco Vanille before. I don't own that one. It's expensive. I can't just buy every expensive fragrance out there, but I did enjoy Tobacco Vanille. Not enough to drop the money on it at that given point. I still might go down that road, but based off memory, this is maybe kind of like it. Like the vanilla's there. There is a tobacco, but like it's not very tobacco heavy in this one. It's kind of subtle. What I'm picking up more in at least in the opening here, is more of that spice, hint of vanilla, that clove, and that like a chocolatey note, like a cocoa note. Yeah, like that vanilla and that kind of chocolatey mix with those spices. This is really quite nice. It has that kind of pipe tobacco sort of vibe to it, mixed with those spices, that tad bit of vanilla. I really like this. This is quite nice. Again, this is going to be another fall fragrance. I think this would be perfect for like a date night, fall evening sort of wear. It just has that sort of warm, cozy, gentlemanly sort of vibe to it. Yeah, I get that cacao out of that, like chocolatey cacao vanilla tobacco. It's very, very nice. I'm glad I actually finally pulled the trigger on this. I'm glad I finally have this in my collection. I'm gonna do a full review on this one for sure once I'm able to give this a full wearing. Really enjoyed this one. I think for the $45 for a 60 ml, I think this was worth it, pending the performance, assuming the performance holds up. If this can last 6 or more hours on my skin, I'm gonna be quite happy with this. So that is Haramain's Amber Oud Tobacco Edition. All right, so next up, moving back into the Lattafas, we have Lattafa Bade'e Oud Amethyst. I'm really bad at pronouncing some of these names, but I apologize. You can read Amethyst. That's what this is called. From the House of Lattafa. This is like similar to the Oud for Glory. It's like a very, very similar presentation. So really nice box. The presentation on this is quite nice, but let's just break this open. Let's just get going. Let's quit screwing around. Oh yeah, look at this box. What a beautiful presentation. What did this cost me? This cost $30 on Fragrance Buy. And look at that, it's got like nice fold out box. This is a plastic to it. It's not like a glass or anything, but it is like a thick plastic, so it's quite nice. But you know, it's got these like little ribbon straps to it, sits nicely in this styrofoam sort of casing to it. Beautiful, nice heavy bottle. I'm not gonna throw this box. I'm gonna set it down gently. Very nice presentation. You may have recognized this from Oud for Glory. Very, very similar bottle to Oud for Glory. This is supposed to be a clone of Initio's Atomic Rose. I have not smelled Initio's Atomic Rose, so I'm going to be just taking a look at this based off of this fragrance, not in a comparison to if it smells like Initio Atomic Rose, but it is what it is. Standalone fragrance. Let's just pretend this is a standalone fragrance. Not everything's a clone. Let's see how it performs on its own merits. There we go. And give this a spray in the air. Now I knew when I bought this was going to be kind of a rose oud fragrance. And that's definitely what you're getting right off the top is that rose and that oud. It's a different kind of rose though. It's like kind of more of a jammy rose, like a sweet rose. And a candied rose. The oud, I'm not getting a ton of the oud. Like the oud is there, but I'm not getting like a big blast of oud. And this one is a little bit different. It does have that very candied, jammy rose style to it. There's maybe like a little sweetness coming from somewhere else, like a vanilla or something like that, but very, very jammy rose. That oud is coming through a little bit more now. It is quite nice. It's very subtle. Like this isn't like very overpowering. This isn't like a blast of rose or a blast of oud. It's kind of like a nice, soft everything with that little bit of sweetness to it. This is nice. I'm always worried when I get rose fragrances because they can be a little bit too unisex. They can be a little bit like grandma's perfume styles, and like, I don't know about you guys, but like I'm not looking to smell like my grandmother. But this one I could see myself wearing, and like, it's definitely could be a unisex fragrance. I don't know, I think I like this. I'm gonna have to give it a full wearing, but so far, so good. That is Lattafa's Bade'e Oud Amethyst. All right, so moving right along, we're in the second to last fragrance in this haul. This one was something I picked up based on a recommendation or a review that I saw from PR Sense, so shout out PR Sense. He kind of convinced, he didn't personally convince me, but he, through his review, made me pull the trigger on this one. He did give me fair warning that this one might be a little challenging, it might not be for everybody, so if I don't like this, it's not his fault, but he did, you know, kind of sell me on this, so let's hope this is good. So that is Lattafa's Mahir Black Edition. How does this open? Does this slide off? Oh, it slides off. That's why I was having so many problems. It slides off. And that's like a little doorway and everything. Oh, it comes off. And a very nice presentation. It's almost, it kind of looks like a casket, but you can see that there. It's sitting inside some styrofoam in there with a ribbon tied onto it. So you gotta undo this ribbon, pull this bad boy out. The box is still kind of a cheap cardboard, like it is very thin. It looks very nice on camera, and it is, it's not bad, but you know, the box is like a little flimsy. And here we are. So Lattafa's Mahir Black Edition. Really interesting bottle. Got this like horse head on it. There is the original Mahir, which is probably going to be my next pickup. This isn't snapped in, oh there, it snaps into place. He had a bit of a bobblehead going there for a second, but it does snap into place. So very unique looking bottle. This is kind of like a nice display piece in my opinion. It's not too tacky, for me. I mean, I like our Moth Hunter Intense bottles, so you can take my opinion with a grain of salt in my tastes for bottles, but I was warned this could be not for everybody. This could be a little bit too much. So this is the real test. This is an eau de parfum concentration, and I picked this off of Fragrance Buy for $25. So pretty good. If this is absolute trash, if this is horrible, $25 isn't the worst thing in the world. I don't like wasting money, but the note breakdown sounded great. PR Sense said this is pretty good, so let's find out here. Atomizer's meh. Give this a spray in the air. Actually, Atomizer's better than I thought. Ooh, this is interesting. It's very dark, very smoky, very dry. It's got like a burnt wood to it. It's like kind of on the bold side. I can't put my finger on any of the notes in this. All I know is it feels very like dark and smoky and like a burnt wood sort of feel to it. It's like bordering on elegant and like kind of like challenging niche fragrance at this moment. I'm gonna have to put this on skin actually. On skin, you got much more of that kind of burnt wood, the burnt wood sort of vibe going on with this. This is quite nice. I'm not sure if it's a love, but it's definitely a like at this moment. Definitely a fall fragrance, maybe even into the winter. Cool weather, has that like dark woods, mysteriousness to it. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. Again, I'm not sure if I really enjoy this or if I just like it at this moment. It's bordering on like really like, but it's not quite there. There's just, I'd have to give this more time. For now, pretty good. If you like smoky, sort of incensey, dark, burnt wood, like very dry, very bold sort of style fragrance, this is it. I can see why this would maybe be challenging to some, but so far, very masculine, very interesting. So I kind of like this. So we'll see how this goes, but that is Lattafa's Mahir Black Edition. All right, so last but certainly not least, this is the one I've been waiting for. This is the one that more or less made me get this entire haul because this came into stock at Fragrance Buy, and that is Lattafa Khamrah. So this has been getting a lot of talk lately along, you know, the big Middle Eastern fragrance fans such as myself. I had heard about this maybe a month ago and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then all of a sudden Fragrance Buy kind of popped into my, I think it was my Instagram feed, saying that they were going to restock this or have it in stock at least. And so as soon as I saw that, as soon as it came into stock, I decided to pull the trigger on it. And so I've heard really good things about this. I've heard this is a clone of Angel Share. I do not have Angel Share. This is going to be kind of a standalone fragrance review of just how this smells on its own. So I'm not going to be comparing it to Angel Share. So that's just shut up and get into it. Ooh, look at that. Look at this fancy box. Don't want to pull this too hard. Oh, there we go. Slides right off. The box is, or the bottle's not quite sitting in there. Let's put it in there. We're trying to, look at that. Oh, it's even got a little reflective mirror in there. I didn't see that right away. Look at that. That is one fancy presentation, Lattafa. So I picked this up for $30 off Fragrance Buy, and this is an Eau de Parfum concentration. Like I said, very nice presentation. It sits in this little styrofoam here, has that little plastic mirror. Nice display piece. Like I said, this is supposed to be a clone of Kilian Angel Share. The only thing I can tell you for sure is that the bottle is pretty much trying to be a clone. That's for sure. So Kilian Angel Share has like a round version of almost an identical looking bottle to this. That's as far as I can tell you about Angel Share. You're gonna just, that's it. I'm not talking about Angel Share anymore. We're gonna take a smell. We're gonna see what this is all about. It is a very nice bottle. It is a glass base to it, and it is a plastic top, plastic lid, but it is pretty thick. Like, it doesn't feel too cheap, but it is plastic, and this is glass, and it has the Lattafa emblem right at the top there. So very beautiful, elegant style bottle. There we go. Got 3 good sprays. Get some up in the air. Oh, I can smell that already. Ooh, that is a great atomizer. Ooh. Oh, that's beautiful. I like the typically very gourmand, sweet style fragrances, like for fall and for winter. Right off the bat, like my mouth kind of started watering off that. Like this is my jam. This is like my kind of go-to style winter fragrance. It's very cozy, it's very warm, it's very inviting. So right off the rip, I get like a fresh, spicy sort of cinnamon, nutmeg sort of feel to it. Sweetness from like a praline. Oh, now there's lots of vanilla coming through. Like big blasts, not blasts, but big vanilla notes coming through. This is so like warm, inviting, cozy, like very gourmand. Like, it's just freaking sexy. This is just a sexy scent profile. It is unisex. I will say it is unisex. Like, I think this can be pulled off by pretty much anybody. There is a booziness to this as well. They're like not overly boozy, like just like a hint of it is kind of lingering there, mixed with that sweetness from like that praline. That's a little bit of spice and like lots and really nice vanilla. Yeah, this is a really nice fragrance. Like, it does come across a little on the synthetic side, but again, like not in a bad way necessarily, but like you can tell this is, well, maybe you can't tell it's a $30 fragrance, but you can tell this is like not a niche level price level. Like, it's not a, you know, $100 and $200 or $300 fragrance. Maybe a $100 fragrance. This does smell a lot better than $30, I'll tell you that much. This is very sexy, sultry, warm, cozy. Like, it just has that winter vibe to it, date night. Oh, this is a beautiful one. I really like this. The hype was real on this one in terms of, yeah, some of that booziness is starting to come out a little bit more. Maybe I'm just paying more attention to it, but very, very nice fragrance. I could rant on and on about this. I can't wait to give this a full wearing and give it a full review. That is Lattafa's Khamrah. All right, so there you have it. That is my 5 Lattafas and 1 Al Haramain fragrance haul for this episode of Fragrance Haul. I don't even know if that's a thing yet, but let me know down in the comments. Have you tried any of these fragrances? What did you think? Were they big hits with you? Were they absolute trash? I want to hear what you guys think. So comment down below, go click on the box, go start typing, comment down below. So again, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.